Hello, hello. Okay, I've got to plug in my HyperX, but I couldn't sleep. Kind of wound up. I'm starting to play peekaboo on Twitch. I see there's some goals I have to meet there, but I really thought. Here we go. I hope you can hear me. I hope that's a good sound. It's been recording very well today, so I think I figured it out. And I'm eating chestnuts, and I've got my smart water beside me. Very chill. I just couldn't wait. I really love finding Hell and Highwater. I've gone a little bit through it on my own. I just read it to you from the Romance Club. It's free on Steam, so I really like it. I've started enjoying reading again. So me and Jick are here. We're ready to explore. We don't know what kind of beast is in the water there, so we brought some weapons. And good thing we both know how to swim, so we can help. So this is what it says. It's a sci-fi adventure, even though it seems very down to earth. A century of upheaval, strife, and catastrophe has left our world a very different place. And by the names, I'd say this is Alaska. So we're on the Pacific. And when disaster threatens to destroy everyone you know and love, what will you do to save them? And I know people know something's coming, and nobody's admitting to me what it is. Our best friend, Chand, is our first mate. We've been bringing other people along with us. We've recruited a navigator, nice young guy, very young, for the job that he's doing, but we need the help. We have a friend that we've been dropping off from our home community to another community who's learning how to be a doctor from her dad. So we got a little bit of first aid around. We got a friend in the captain of another ship. It's a one-man ship. And we've now taken on a raccoon pet to make Chand happy. He's just been broken up with. Anyways, let's get in there. Let's find out what's going on next. Continue playing. Got 3 purple cups and 121 blue diamonds. Let's try this again. Play. It's a sailing adventure. Look at the world, though. It's like catastrophe. I don't know if me and Chuck need to shrink down. We're going to find out in a minute. It's booting up at 80% already. Here we go. I do love how this story does have sound effects and instrumental stuff in the background, although I've got my HyperX plugged in, so we're not going to hear it. A little peace and quiet. By the time we finish carefully hauling the semi-conscious hulk of a man up to the oversized house that serves double duty as the Hot Springs Lodge, we're all sweaty and out of breath. We also know everyone's running out of food, and they almost lost an entire shipment to the shipment boat going down, or almost going down. They had to free the mast, and unfortunately they lost a red-headed young guy to the water. Phoebe wastes no time in tending to him. She is the doctor's daughter. She takes his vitals from a device I recognize from my occasional visits to Dr. Alvarez's office. What else do you need? Read Callida, can you stay with me? Of course. The rest of you can go. I'll let you know if I need anything. They leave us alone in the cozy room. Phoebe positions a mask connected to a small humming device by a long tube over the man's face. He was fading in and out as we brought him up, and has since lapsed back into unconsciousness. After fixing a sensor to his chest, she sits in a chair beside the bed. Her hands are shaking slightly. Hey, you all did a good job getting him here alive. We're going to try this before we do anything invasive. Thanks, Phoebe. Are the rest of you all okay? And who was that guy with the fancy coat? She sees him too, the navigator. That's RJ. Have you heard anything about what's going on? Oh, the man. The man groans softly, and we both look at him. No, I've been busy with Mr. Dushkin. He isn't doing well. He's so darn stubborn. How am I supposed to take care of people who won't even take care of themselves? Phoebe, you're doing everything you can. He's lucky to have you looking after him. She looks so uncertain right now. I reach out and place my hand on her shoulder. I mean it, Phoebe. Thanks. The last few days have just been... She shakes her head. He's got a bacterial infection, and it's resistant. And I don't know if there's anything I can do. Please don't be zombies. Oh, this would be gross. Funny thing, we actually have a literal boatload of medical supplies with us. What? Yeah, we ended up in the two of us almost tumble to the floor as Phoebe wraps me in a tight hug. You're my damn hero right now, you know that? Whoa, whoa. She pulls back and I see a double flicker in her eyes. I need serious antibiotics. Actually, what that old goat needs is some Callida. He won't say why, but there's hardly a trace of it in his system. He missed his dose in the fall somehow. I'm sure of it. That's why my dad says he should be the one to do the injections. Actually, you're in luck. You mean... Or are they just handing out Callida now? It's been a weird couple of days. Yeah, but you're serious. You have some with you? On Gitana, look, I don't want to scare you, but I feel her on what happened with the Aguila. The most important parts, at least. She sits in stone silence after I finish. Finally, she lets out a huge breath. Then another. I know, but one step at a time, right? Right. No, you know what? That's stupid. What are you going to do? What are any of us going to do? We're going to figure this out as soon as we get back to Homeport. The important thing is that the ship didn't sink, right? Yeah. So we're only mostly screwed. Sorry, I'm... Pressing the fingers of one hand to her temple, she gestures at the unconscious man. She looks weary, dark circles beneath her eyes. I'm a little stressed. I know. I really need to talk to someone back home about this. But you can't talk about any of that on the radio. Exactly. It's a mess. Huh? He falls quiet again. Almost gave me a heart attack. Guy looks like some kind of super soldier, like from those old action movies, but a lot less scary. Yeah, he kind of does. He's doing a little better already. So, you're talking Callida to Homeport? Yeah, it's a big case, but it isn't locked or anything. I don't know how any of this is going to work yet, but I think we'll have to ferry small loads between the Aguila and Homeport and then on up the line. She seems slightly reassured by my words. Normally we get 1,000 doses for the whole season, but that includes all the little places like Red Bay and here. We haven't had any to spare since the accident with Miss Higgins out at the garage. The garage is what keeps Homeport going. It houses the onshore equipment for the tidal generator near the mouth of the bay that supplies power to the whole settlement. It also where most of the heavy equipment lives, and a hotspot for injuries, I'm sure. Mr. Dushkin needs a dose at least. The sooner the better. Should I go grab a vial or something? Have you ever handled it? No. I only deal with the smaller packs your dad prepares for people. I'll come with you. The big cases have a few quirks. Let's check on Joseph really quick before we go down, all right? She goes to the door and calls in Adele, Dushkin's only child, to keep an eye on the man. We make our way to the den where Joseph Dushkin is sitting in an old armchair. He makes an effort to sit up as he hears us enter the room. When he looks our way, my heart sinks. Miss Alvarez? He sees his tablet on the table beside the chair. He's gaunt, more so than usual, and his sickly pale skin has a dull sheen of sweat. And Miss Kaplan, a pleasant surprise. Hey, Joe. Manages smile despite his apparent frailty, his eyes narrow. Have a little faith, Miss Kaplan. It's going to take more than a nasty cut to put me in a grave. I stare at him, unsure of how to react, and his gaze shifts to Phoebe's medical device. Now, if you don't treat it, Joe, you are supposed to be getting some rest right now. Now let me see your arm, please. Venus Callida brought some things that might help you recover. I look at him as he nods and extends his arm. I hope you'll feel better soon. This must be difficult for you. Being this sick must be a huge blow to his dignity. It's no excuse, but I can understand where he's coming from. He meets my gaze for a few moments. His expression softens and he nods. Thank you, Miss Alvarez, Miss Kaplan. We're lucky to have neighbors like you. Phoebe beams, and I can't help smiling a little as well. We head outside once she's finished her checks. The sky has dimmed a little, and the clouds are starting to break up in the west as we make our way toward the dock. I think you got through to him. I was afraid anything I said would just make things worse. Has he been like that the whole time? Yeah. You don't deserve that. I sure don't, but Dad worked hard to build a good reputation, and I don't want to mess that up. And here I thought you and Chan were off having all the fun without me. Yeah, if only. I pause, eyeing the signpost near the path. An old bleached orca skull rests atop it like some kind of protective talisman. A little shiver runs down my spine. I don't consider myself superstitious, but I've heard some things. I could have Chan and RJ bring it up, you know. No, it's just stay down here. I don't want anyone tempted to mess with it. You can lock Chitana up, right? Phoebe marches down the dock. All business now. Lock her up. I guess. Yeah, there's a lock on the companionway. Do you have to lock it up back in Homeport? Yeah. I mean, a bunch of people have the keys just in case, but it's an old protocol. It's down on the starboard berth. I'm not sure there's room to open it inside the boat. She steps onto Katana a few feet ahead of me and disappears below. Oh my god! She bolts up through the companionway and clings to me, her eyes wide. There's a thing on the boat! Oh, we forgot. What did you forget? A small face appears in the companionway. Chirr! Wait, is that a raccoon? She's so distracted that she hasn't realized she's still holding on to me like a lifeline. Pretty cute, right? She's a stowaway on the Aquila. Sure, she's cute now when she isn't lurking in the shadows like a little gremlin. She looks at me, her face only inches from mine, and her eyes dart away. She quickly lets me go and takes a step back, embarrassed. Sorry. Don't worry about it. You like it here, don't you, Lily? Thanks for not wandering off. Her furry little head bumps against my palm softly. Purr. Well, you're going to have to stay here for a little longer. I think it might be a little overwhelming for you up here. Meow. Look at you, pet mom of the year. We haul the case out and set it on my berth. The indicator lights slowly pulse. Okay, let's see here. She undoes the clasp, and I hear a small rush of air as the seal opens. The inside of the case is divided into several compartments and has bright lights that illuminate the interior. Wow. Yeah, makes me wonder what else they have in the metros. No kidding. But you should always have it on its side like this when you open it, just in case one of the compartments has opened. She points to the different compartments, which apparently contain not only palladium in varying dose concentrates, but also injectors and a number of pre-dose single-shot boosters. More complicated than just a jab in the arm, right? She rummages through the content of the different compartments. We need to make a decision. What do you mean? She holds up a vial of clear liquid about the size of a small spool of thread. The vials have to be used shortly after the seal is broken. This vial has enough doses for everyone here, except RJ. Anyone traveling on a ship gets theirs in port. Our new friend included? Yeah, his levels were actually worse than Mr. Dushkin's, but he seems healthy overall, if you don't count the hypothermia. Now, this is a booster dose. She holds up a small self-contained injector. Lady booster. I'm going to take a look. It's especially formulated to kick the body's immune system into high gear. Whatever got into Mr. Dushkin's system wouldn't stand a chance, but there are only a handful of these in every case. So he's going to get a normal dose either way, right? Yes, and that may get him through this. He's too stubborn to let it show, but he's very weak right now. I want to believe that a normal dose will be enough, but I'm not sure. He may be getting on my nerves, but still, he's my patient. Wait, why are you asking me? You're the medical expert. We're short on Callida, Venus Callida. This isn't just a medical decision. Oh. I'm sorry, but you're the one in charge of transporting it, right? Take a deep breath as it sinks in. She's right. It's my cargo and my responsibility. Right now, it's my decision. Let's give him the extra booster. We know I love him. I can't withhold something that may save his life. I didn't want to influence your decision, but I'm glad. What if Katana were to sink tomorrow, or another ship was rerouted here? What good would hoarding doses do to us then? Plus, I want to save my friends, quite frankly. That's what I'm going to do. All right. Phoebe gathers what she needs from the case, and I track down the rarely used keys for Katana's companionway. Lily watches me as I set out a fresh bowl of water and some food for her. So glad I named her that. It's cute. Chad meets us in the foyer when we return. He looks to Phoebe. Hey, could I borrow your assistance for a moment? Yeah, that's part simple. He walks past me. I follow him back outside, curious as to what this is about. I stand beside him along the edge of the deck. You saw Mr. Dushkin? Yeah, we're just figuring out how to treat him. But you saw what he looked like, right? I nod, and he tangles his fingers in his hair. It's been a long time since I saw him this troubled. I mean, that could be my dad or Nina, or any of us on a bad day. It could be. I haven't let myself really think about it lately because, well, it's too scary. It's been easier to just focus on what we can do than worry about what might happen. You're right. This is all just suddenly feeling very real. He sighs and looks at me thoughtfully. But for you, it's all changed with the storm. I guess it did, yeah. We just have to take this one step at a time. We aren't alone either. Remember that. Yeah, one step at a time. You're good at this whole skipper thing, you know? Thanks. I'm sure he means it, but I'm really not feeling that great about it right now. Come here. He wraps me in a friendly hug. He pats my back and I breathe out softly, taking comfort in his presence. Thanks, Chand. He gives me a final little squeeze before drawing a warm smile on his lips. Of course. We head back inside a few moments later. Phoebe has already tended to Mr. Dushkin and returned to the man we found out in the strait, whose condition is slowly improving. Bella looks at Phoebe, her arms crossed. You need to take a break. But you've been fussing over my husband since Friday, Phoebe. Adele can let you know if anything happens with this one. Eat something. Take it easy. Go soak in the springs. Whatever you need. There's food in the kitchen. Just go. Relax a little. I'm going great just looking at you. Phoebe pouts a little but nods. Thanks, Bella. I'm liking this room. We assemble some sandwiches and sit around the big table. RJ looks up and nods over the top of his tablet. He's claimed an overstuffed wicker chair on a corner near the windows. I open my eyes after savoring a bite of herb cheese and early radishes to find Phoebe glancing my way yet again. Do I have crumbs on my face? What? Oh, no. Chan diligently sips his water, mercifully sparing her any teasing. I look at her curiously. Okay, this is really dumb, but can I do your hair? My hair? Sure. Aren't you supposed to be relaxing, though? It is. I don't know. It's like doing art or something. Don't look at me like that, Chan. Sorry, this is just really cute. Yeah. Oh, this is going to be fun. As soon as I finished eating, hello, Fenris Fabros. I couldn't fall asleep yet. I found someone on Twitch that has a really deep voice and a very nice deep chuckle. And I ended up listening to ASMR. And instead of falling asleep, it charged the back of my brain. So I needed to make myself sleepy. So I came in to read more of the story we started. Hop on board. Actually, we're on dry land right now. As soon as I finish my eating, she ushers me off to the room she's been staying in and starts digging through her bag. This is Phoebe, the doctor's daughter. I knew I brought this stuff for a reason. You're really excited about this. Yeah, I've never gotten to play with your hair before. I always do Pramela's when she'll let me, even though she covers it up most of the time. Anyway, it's gonna look great. She's basically bored and wants something to do. Basically, we're eating herb cheese sandwiches. We picked up a really cute guy named RJ, who is the youngest navigator ever, but he's on our boat. And right now we're visiting where we dropped off the doctor's daughter. And because we saved that other boat from completely sinking, we've got a medical supply, and we gave some of it to Phoebe to use for basically the leader of this community's husband, who wasn't looking too good. And we've locked up our cabin. But I think this story is setting us up for so many people who could possibly become a love interest. We haven't made that choice yet. Yeah. So I don't know if you found the same guy I found. He's like a fox boy with red eyes. And he has a very fluffy, swishy tail. And he holds a little rat pet who he put a little hat on. And I was a little dinosaur dancing around back and forth on the bottom of the screen with a helmet. Because everybody who was chatting became a little creature. It was very, very cute. I don't know how to do that stuff, but I got to learn. I have some time. Once I can settle my brain, I've been pretty busy. I'm going to be busy all week this week, but maybe by next week. I'll figure that stuff out. I'm going to keep playing Peekaboo over there too to try to find more followers. But of course, I will be loyal to here first. How are you doing? So you haven't fallen asleep yet, or have you just woken up at an odd time? I take it you have some ideas. Oh, I sure do. How about... Do we want our hair? Okay, Fan, you're here just in time. Do we want to have a twist out? A high bun? Actually, my hair's like that right now. High bun blonde? That's more like my hair right now. Brown? Braids up? Oh, look like Cleopatra. Purple braids? Oh, I like this effortless auburn. Oh. Dirty blonde? Oh, good for you, applying for jobs. I've been actually using my whole week to keep updating pieces of my resume portfolio. Dirty blonde? Nope, that's not me. Nope, not me. I do want to change. Nope. Okay. Something like the high bun in a blonde, or this auburn thing, or this blonde thing. One of those. I don't want to get caught in the ropes if we get into another storm, but I think it's safe. This is kind of like Khaleesi. Oh, I have to pay for it. Oh, this one? Or this one? Do we want to be a blonde or a redhead fan? One of these, maybe. This goes better with the green shirt, but maybe this? I like the braids. Oh, did you say twist out? The auburn look? Okay, we're going to look at both again. There's the auburn. I do like it because red goes with green. Like, redheads look good in green. Or you said twist out? Are you a redhead? Okay, maybe auburn then. If I pin curled my hair, I could do this. This one then, we're gonna become Vikingish. All right, we're doing it. We like this. So she's dyed our hair as well as set it. Now I look really Scottish, actually. Phoebe sets to work on my hair, occasionally humming to herself. I catch a faint whiff of jasmine and rose. Jasmine smells really nice. I do use incense sticks that smell like jasmine. And I have other incense sticks that smell like rose. I have one for oranges. I used to have one called burnt marshmallow. I haven't been able to find it for a while. Oh, that's really interesting. All right, well, I'll keep that in mind. I do actually have tea from China that a friend brought over when they went to do business there. And it's with rose petals, and I don't mind it. Yeah. Is that perfume? She leans close, a contented little smile playing over her lips. Yeah, I like this one. Bella has a whole collection for the hot springs guests. There's all sorts of stuff. Perfumes, fancy soaps, salts, massage oils. She gave me a vial and said I could fill it with whatever I liked. She finishes fussing over my hair and holds up a mirror. I hope we saved her husband now, since the woman's so nice. This is a community that built around a hot spring. There we go. You're a natural at this. I know, right? Speaking of the hot springs, how does a soak sound? That sounds really good. Let's dip in. I'm not even going to say no. We need to do this. It'll be nice to spend some time together. Her expression brightens. Oh no, does she have a crush on us? I hope not. That's what I'm talking about. The Cedar Spring is just out that door. We can hang out there. Sure, let me drop my things in my room. I take my bag from where I set it in the foyer, and I find the hall of modest but cozy guest rooms that Bella lodged our little group in. I open my bag and look for my swimsuit. Okay, we have to choose again. A shine? Oh, maybe sparkle. Shimmer? Skip? Go naked? Nope, I'm not a naked person. No, it's going to be sparkle. We're putting it on. Yeah, I like that one. There we go. I make my way over creaky old floorboards back to Phoebe's room and the Cedar Spring, and I'm hoping RJ sees this. Quiet Bay used to just be just that, a quiet bay. But one silver lining of the geological activity that reshaped parts of the interior was the formation of several thermal springs. Joe's grandmother, Elena, recognized the springs as an idyllic place to raise a family and convinced her husband to settle here. Originally, it was just a house to raise a big family in, but that all changed over time. We are crossing the 7 seas in a bikini, and why the heck not? There might not be a Statue of Liberty standing over the water anymore. We got to do something. Raise the spirits and all. I have to raise the morale. I knock on the door, Phoebe's room, and hear a muffled, "Come in." The door leading to the Cedar Spring is open, and I step out into the crisp early evening air. The clouds have mostly cleared. The flagstones, well, you know what? Resources are short, so there wasn't a lot of fabric, so I had to, make do. Just saying, that's my excuse, and I'm sticking with it. The flagstones are cold under my feet, but warmth rolls off the surface of the steaming water. You know what the truth is? I don't like feeling like a human pasta noodle. I don't do well in hot tubs. Phoebe looks up from the water at me. Oh, she's in a bikini too. See, I'm not the only one. Oh, look at you. Cedar Spring is where it's at. Ooh, look at this hot tub. Let's get in. Oh, this is making me feel better. I love this visual, eh? Yeah, it's a good excuse. I stifle a laugh and I slip my toes into the warm water. The clean, damp air also carries with faint scent of minerals. Within a few minutes, the water is up to my shoulders, and the world beyond this peaceful spring seems much more distant. This is a really nice place to live, I have to say. That's nice. That's right, less laundry. Plus, the boat doesn't have like a shower system. I don't even know where they go to the bathroom except over the side. So let's have this bath. We need it. We soak in silence for a while, enjoying the overlook of the bay and the strait in the distance. Eventually, Phoebe looks down at the surface of the spring's water, smiling softly. This water has seen so much. Huh? Maybe it was down below the surface for thousands of years, but before that, it could have been rain falling on cities, on people. It could have been rivers or glaciers or oceans. Maybe it was here when Earth first formed, or maybe it was vapor from a comet. She dips her hand beneath the surface and lets the warm water slowly pour through her fingers into the stone-lined pool. Even if it stops for, say, 1,000,000 years, that's just a tiny blip as it flows through the veins of the planet, breathing life into everything, past, present, and future alike. She glances my way, seeming suddenly shy. Oh, what am I talking about? This girl's deep. She's cerebral. I like it. Yeah, that's pretty poetic. And a little humbling. Yeah, it really is. Thanks. Huh? I'm dumb. For listening. I don't know, it's just everyone expects me to be so serious all the time, and I just want to look at the water or the stars or wonder. I nod. Sometimes I forget about the pressure that she must be under. In so many ways, she just seems unstoppable and inexhaustible, like the warm spring surrounding me. You can always talk to me, Phoebe, whether it's about serious stuff or serious stars. Oh, what's the deal with my newest patient? Well, we found him out in the strait, clinging to a wreck. Whoa. Yeah, he's lucky he survived the storm. Maybe he got blown in from one of those smaller settlements out near Sitka or something, but I have no idea. We didn't get a very good look at the wreck. I'm not sure where it was from. He must have a hell of a story, though. I take a moment to wonder if he had family somewhere, worried about him, or were they on board with him? Probably some trauma, too. Probably. What about Mr. Fashionable? I can't help laughing. She's definitely made an impression around here. RJ? He's from Aquila. He's very serious. Seriously handsome, more like. But what's this guy doing with you two? Well, he said he'd help us bring the supplies to Homeport. He's a master navigator, actually. But he also has some sort of personal business around here, and he doesn't want to talk about it, whatever it is. Serious and mysterious. Well, here goes the rumor mill. She smirks contentedly, then rolls her eyes. This young girl, trained to be a doctor, wants to meet Mr. Navigator, young man. Come on, the highlight of my weekend was rummaging through a perfume cabinet. Fair point. Phoebe glances down at her fingers. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm going to turn into a prune if I stay here much longer. We climb out of the hot spring and wrap ourselves in towels against the cool air. I head back to my room for a quick rinse, and Phoebe prepares to go check on her patients. I pop down to the boat quickly to make sure Lily hasn't gotten herself into any trouble. She spends a little while exploring the dock before returning to her nest of blankets to curl up. I got one night at Quiet Springs. I might as well make the most of it. I have a few things tucked away in my bag. I bet she has Hermione's bag, the bottomless bag. So many things she has. Oh, pretty little thing. Elegance? I don't know. I don't think that's all. Current outfit? No. Pretty little thing. We're putting it on. It goes with our red hair. Oh, I like tulip skirts. She looks like a flapper. I look myself over the mirror. I clean up well. Evening plans. Your available options are based on the relationships you built with other characters. All right, Beans Callida, what are we doing tonight? Whose room are we going to visit? Let's visit RJ's room. We're looking pretty. But my doctor friend likes him. I just don't know. I walk the short distance to RJ's room and knock lightly. A moment. I hear a few footsteps and the door swings inward. Right. You're gonna lurk? Okay, you do that. Have a great time and I wish you luck on your job search. He hesitates when he catches sight of me, looking pleasantly surprised. Venus Callida, nice to see you. I was hoping we might talk. That sounds nice. There's a landing upstairs. Let's go there. I should make a deeper voice. Sure. So you've had a chance to take a look around? He steps out into the hall and we walk along side by side. I couldn't help being curious. Is it quaint? Yes, well, in a good way. It's very soothing. I wish we were here under happier circumstances. Yeah, this is a difficult time. Adele glances our way and nods as we pass through the main room. He's always been a quick kid. The stairs creak softly as we walk up them. We take seats around a low table with a view of the bay. That's nice. Ooh, we've got apples. RJ glances out over the water and a half-hearted smile plays over his lips. I'm aware that my disposition is not to everyone's liking. You aren't the most approachable, RJ. That's a generous way of phrasing it. Well, I'm not easily discouraged. You and your first mate and Miss Phoebe, you're all very comfortable around each other. We've known each other a long time. He nods and I look at him curiously, unsure of where exactly he's going with this line of reasoning. I began my apprenticeship when I was 12. The people I worked with, then and after, it was difficult to make people twice my age or even older take me seriously. Even still, there's a lot of pressure. But that's not any problem of yours. This entire situation just isn't coming naturally to me. Not at all. But I'm already very glad that you've taken me aboard. How about a wager of sorts? He reaches into his pocket and offers me a heavy gleaming coin emblazoned with Van Met's seal and the words, "By sea and land we prosper." Oh, and what did you have in mind? Flip that coin. If it comes up heads, I'll answer whatever question you like. Tails, I get to ask you a question. Answers have to be truthful. We don't have to elaborate unless we feel comfortable with it. Sound fair? Games like these usually end up in my favor. Sometimes it pays to lead a relatively boring life. Well, it was until recently. All right, deal. I turn the coin in my hand a few times, wondering if it has sentimental value or is just a piece of metro currency. It flips smoothly through the air, landing in my palm, and I slap it onto the back of my hand. Heads. My lucky day. RJ smiles faintly. All right. Would you kiss me? I can ask that, right? He smirks and leans forward, resting his elbows on the table. His gaze is suddenly piercing in a way that sends a warm shiver through my body and makes me wish there wasn't a table between us. Under the right circumstances. Oh, he's playing hard to get. I'm not sure that counts as a real answer, Mr. Martin. It's the truth. So, are you disappointed you didn't win? There must be a few questions on your mind. But he smiles, looking quite smug. I certainly have questions, but I'm happy with the results all the same. The clouds have mostly cleared. His gaze has shifted to out the window. Do you want a better look? We can go out on the balcony. Sure, as long as you won't be too cold. Oh, I like this view. That's very nice. We stand outside, sheltered from the wind. The brighter stars are already shining in the sky. You don't get too many clear nights around here. Do you know the stars well? Only stuff like Dippers, Orion, the North Star. I'm assuming you know them all. Well, a few more than that. Let's see. How about Cassiopeia? I should, but I don't. All right. So, see the Little Dipper? He points it out and I quickly recognize it. Then he moves his hand slightly. Down toward the horizon below it. That W shape. There. See it? Oh, that's it, isn't it? He goes on to Gemini, Draco, and others, helping me place them in relation to stars and constellations I already know. He's perfectly patient as a teacher. It's interesting to see him off duty in this way. I'm glad I could share this with you. I always find it reassuring to look up on a clear night and see a familiar sky, especially when I'm on a crossing. Thank you, RJ. There will be a test tomorrow. I guess I'll just have to hope for rain. Very likely. He glances my way, then turns to face me with that same piercing look from earlier. But this time, there's no table separating us. I find myself momentarily captivated by his gaze as my pulse quickens. He steps closer, only a foot from me now, and gently takes my hand in his. He's younger. I bet he's younger. He's just a teenager. I'm not clear on how old we are in this. There's something else I'd like to share with you. I hope that we'll be traveling together for some time, but that's a matter for the future. Right now, the thing I want most of all is to feel your lips against mine. Woohoo! We found a relationship, boy. I've only known him a few days, yet I can't deny a spark of compatibility between us, and I can't help wondering if he's this bold in the bedroom. What? Just kiss him. I can pay for that right now. Still meeting his gaze, I take a step forward, tilting my chin slightly so that our lips are almost brushing. Faint scent of spices, musk, and a sharp scent of something almost citrus tickles my nose. I slip my hands around his waist as he does the same. Let my eyes close and lean in as he does the same. His kiss is firm against my lips, tinged with an unspoken desire for more. Another slow mutual kiss, his lips gently caressing mine. My world becomes a space between our lips. My furiously beating heart, the feeling of his hands around my waist, and mine around his, the heat of his body so close to mine, and again tortuously slow and filled with yearning, wordlessly conveying a poem of desire. Huh? I grip his waist more tightly and he presses me closer, tilting his head slightly as he kisses me again. Woohoo! We did it. I hope this doesn't bother Chand. Lips part in a sigh of pleasure, and he takes my lower lip between his, squeezing it in a way that makes me sigh deeper. A flush of heat spreads over my body. He pulls back from me, and I finally open my eyes, returning to a world of starlight. Thank you for this, Venus Callida. His words are low murmur, and he kisses my cheek gently, reaching up to run his fingers over my hair. Good callin', the wavy locks. Grasping for words and coming up empty-handed, I simply smile, slightly overwhelmed. Yeah, and almost frown, wanting to go back to his room or take him back to mine in the heat of the moment. But I know that I don't truly know him, and that I'm not prepared to bare my soul or body in this way. Not yet. Good girl. Thank you for a perfect evening amid all this chaos. Anytime, RJ. I hug him close, and eventually he walks me back to my door and bids me goodnight. Aw, he's a gentleman, the young boy is a gentleman. That's nice. The day's events churn in my mind, muffled by my tiredness as I lie in the bed, looking at the dark ceiling. I roll over on my bed and dig around in my bag until I find the handkerchief RJ gave me on the hike, where I folded it and tucked it away. I frown. I'll have to wash it before long. Right now, it smells like him, and that brings a smile to my face. Before long, I settle into deep, restful sleep. This has been a good night, and now we were reminded this is not just an adventure, but a romance novel. Early the next morning, we meet in the main room. Oh, look, there's a kitten. You guys don't see it. Look, there's a kitten. Aw, so cute, so cute. Okay. Miss Kaplan, good morning. You're in good spirits. That's right, I've got lots to do. Joe, give yourself at least a full day's rest or so. Help me. You had better listen to her, Joe. Connor, this is Venus Callida. He's looking so much better now. I'm amazed Bella found anything that fit him. Oh, look, he's alive! The big hulking man! Good morning. So you all helped save my life. I should give him an accent, I don't know. I feel like I'm wrong to give accents. Complete this episode. I love this portal. There's lots to read in this story. Romance Club. No thanks, it's okay. Play. We're already at 7 out of 11, so we might be entering 8 out of 11 by now. Okay, while this churns, I'm going to drink to your health and mine, and I'm going to drink to Fanro's new job application form. May it be successful. Episode number 7, The Halcyon Days. And I'm going to eat a chestnut before we go any further. I love them. Once I was in France and I discovered that they turn chestnuts into something like a yogurt dessert, but it's chestnuts. Or chestnut pudding. I don't know what it was, but it was awesome. Good morning. So you all helped save my life. We seem to be doing a lot of that lately. His voice is rough, but he looks very at home for being in a strange place. Chance is just a few steps behind me, and RJ comes in from the front porch a moment later. After a quick round of introductions, Connor continues. I was sailing up the coast bound for Anchorage, but Mother Nature had other ideas. That's one way of putting it. I'm glad you pulled through. You should take it easy, Connor. Oh, I will. I feel like I've been washed right over the rocks. Mr. Dushkin gives a sympathetic grunt. But it warms my heart to come in such good company. A lot of wicked wretches back the way I came. Oh? Way down the coast, just a ragged slum. Hasn't been a city since the wars. But I came this way hoping for a fresh start. Nearly killed me, but wasn't much of a life back there anyway. So, you just hopped in a boat and sailed away? That's just incredibly brave. Where did you get that boat? Seaworthy vessels aren't easy to come by. Well, I stole it. Can't say I'm proud of it, but the people I took it were thieves themselves. I see. Bella looks markedly less pleased after learning about her newest guest's history. I'll never hear the end of it if he stays here. Phoebe speaks up before I get the chance. Well, Connor, you should come with us up to Homeport. My dad can look you over and make sure that I didn't miss anything. And Joe, you can just let me know if anything changes with your situation. Mr. Dushkin gives an appreciative nod. That sounds good, but I don't have a thing to offer. I think I'd be pretty worthless as a crew in this state, and even these clothes aren't mine. He looks at Bella gratefully, but seems suddenly anxious. I'm not quite sure that he's getting at, but RJ speaks up. Homeport takes refugees, right? Always has. We couldn't call ourselves a proper settlement if we didn't help folks in need. Marsh Baker over in Kaufman and Tempest, they're practically washed up here like you. They decided to stay, but others moved on. Maybe the supply situation will complicate things, but they'd never turn someone away. That's very good to hear. Speaking of, though, we should be getting underway. Bella, thank you so much for your hospitality. Her displeasure has vanished entirely, replaced by a hostess's gracious smile. Of course, of course. Yes, please come visit us anytime. And keep the clothes, Connor. They've been in storage for ages. Phoebe will come with you. A short while later, we collect our things and head down to the dock. Clouds roll slowly over the bay and a light breeze is blowing across the water. Are you feeling all right, Connor? It's all a little fuzzy, but I remember this boat and his gaze shifts to me. You! I can't help recalling the chill of crawling into the bunk with him. Why should I be embarrassed about that? And yet... Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, we didn't have any better way of stabilizing your temperature, and Venus Callida volunteered. Connor nods. Thanks, I appreciate it. I climb aboard and unlock the companionway. Just one more thing that feels wrong about the last few days. Lily trundles out onto the deck as soon as I open the door. Hey there, Adele gave me a few treats for you. I give her a hard-boiled egg, which she quickly carries away to inspect. Cute pet. That's Lily, the newest member of our crew. I see, that's some stiff competition. Welcome aboard, Katana. She's a good little boat. I'm wondering, though, how much weight it can take. If I got 3 fully grown men and all that cargo. Is the doctor coming? He steps aboard uncertainly. I think it might be a while before I have my sea legs back under me. No shame in that. Take it easy, man. We'll be in Homeport before you know it. Barring any surprises, we should arrive early in the afternoon. Phoebe knocks on the cabin. We get our gear stowed before pushing off. Well, you got a lot of people here. 5 people and a raccoon in the cargo. Our sailing is much the same as it was the day before. With the wind and currents working together, we make good time, the boat slowly rising and falling with the waves. Connor opts for sitting down below and keeping an eye to the portals. I'm half surprised he's getting on a boat at all after what he's been through. He still looked exhausted and a little unsteady on his feet. Phoebe takes up her seat beside the mast again. I'm so glad you 3 showed up. Mr. Dushkin was really wearing on you. Yeah, but also the whole place. Isn't it kind of creepy? The hot springs? Yeah, a big old house, lots of empty rooms, and it's so quiet at night. It seems nice enough to me. Are you talking like haunted or murder cults? Oh no. Both. I don't know. If this gets back to Bella, I don't know either of you. You know, it's got to be called Quiet Bay for a reason. Okay, so if we were in a horror movie, who would die first? Is it a cult or a monster? That's the spirit. Let's say it's a cult, but no cloaks. They're just like feeding visitors to an elder god in their basement or something. I hear Connor chuckling down below. Okay, so who would die first? Phoebe. Sorry, Phoebe, but I feel like you'd be the one who caught on first, but no one believed. So they'd have to get rid of you before anyone could listen. Oh, fair. We spend a little while coming up with theories for the cult of Quiet Bay. Lily comes over to sit in my lap for a while. But the whole while, there's something gnawing at me. Something I can't quite put my finger on. There's low morale. The mood is subdued. After a while, we all seem to settle into a state of quiet contemplation. Despite the fair weather, it all seems a bit gloomy. There isn't so much as a seagull in sight on the water. I suppose it's nice to break after all the excitement we've had lately. Lily wanders over after a while. You too? She curls up in my lap and simply dozes off after a while, fidgeting occasionally. As my hand rests on the tiller, keeping Katana's sails full, I'm all over everything that's happened recently, from the Aquila down to Mr. Dushkin. One thing after another, each chipped away at the foundation of our lives in Homeport and beyond. I'm going to figure out how to get those supplies to Anchorage. Wait, what? If they don't get to the people who need them, this is going to be the worst disaster to hit the southeast in our lifetime. They're all looking at me. I know, but Venus Callida, that isn't a responsibility that you should have to bear on your shoulders. Why not? I care about the people here as much as anyone else. I can sail. Why shouldn't I step up? Don't get me wrong. I know I can't do it on my own. This is a chance to actually do something instead of just watching things get worse. I have to figure out some details, sure, but that isn't going to stop me. I realize I'm gripping the tiller far more tightly than I need to and ease up. Maybe I don't know exactly how I'm going to do it, but for some reason, getting it out there is a relief. Well, I'm certainly happy to assist however I can. I may not be much of a sailor, but I'm sure my training would help in handy on the trip like that. I don't know, this feels a little premature to me. Connor suddenly pokes his head up out of the companionway. Sorry to stick my nose where maybe it doesn't belong, but what's all this about? There's a supply ship stranded not far south of here. It got caught in the same storm you did. Just stranded? Yes, steerage problems. I was crew on it, but if you were trying to make it up to Anchorage, I'm sure you could hitch a ride helping transport the cargo. Huh, yeah. Well, that could work. And all of you are throwing together some sort of rescue mission? I guess that's the idea, yeah. No idea how exactly, but we'll be in Homeport before long. Well, count me in if I'm fit to sail when you set out. You really want to go back out to sea after what happened to you out there? A laugh rises from deep in his chest. Can't start being afraid of the ocean now. I appreciate that you're a big, tough dude. There's no time like the present when fear is concerned. Yeah, Connor, that must have been traumatic. It's nothing to be ashamed of. He looks at Phoebe, then Chand incredulously, as though they're messing with him. Connor was looking vulnerable. A liability where you came from? He considers RJ's words for a long moment before slowly nodding. Doesn't mean I'm afraid of going out to sea. Nope. I glance from Connor to RJ. Each of them is from an entirely different world. Yet, here we are on this little boat together. I should let them know we're coming in with guests. You better have Tay tell them not to come down to Gawk, or everyone and their goat is going to be down at the docks. Doesn't take long to get in touch with Tay. And maybe we could skip the welcoming committee? I mean, I'll try. Thanks. You're going to come down from your tower this time, right? Ha, we'll see. Depends if Mo will cover for me. Alright, I hope so. Venus Callida. Is that you? Nina, good to hear your voice. We're almost back. Well, that's great. I'm down on Halcyon. I want to... Spike barks in the background. Oh, here he comes. Sorry. I've got to go. Oh, Tay, you still there? Yeah, and I haven't the slightest what that was about. It's fine. I'll talk to you later, I guess. I'll return the handset to its bracket, puzzling it over. Whatever's up, we'll find out soon enough. As we draw closer to the mouth of the bay, I adjust our course slightly. RJ glances over at me. Just a little detour. Don't worry, it'll take a few minutes. We round the point, sailing between a small rocky island speckled with gray and brown blobs on the shore. As we draw closer, one of the blobs raises its head. Oh, they're so cute! Connor pokes his head up. Looks like eating to me. That's quite a pile of them. What? How could you? Look at his little whiskers. You get hungry enough and they look a lot less cute. Meh. I give us one last look before disappearing into the water with a snort. RJ watches the shoreline quietly, remaining tactfully silent about seals as a menu item. Before much longer, we go through the hectic little shuffle of dropping the sails and securing Gitana to the dock, which is empty. Guess Tay actually got folks to give us a bit of space. Connor emerges from below looking tired but otherwise all right. Guess we should swing by your place first. Yeah, we should bring up that case. So, if you're planning on moving those supplies, who's in charge around here? That would be. Luis, get off my boat. Well, I'll look across the dock toward Halcyon, where the top of Nina's head is barely visible, and Luis, presumably, is standing nearby. This is ridiculous. You want to get someone else killed? What the heck is he talking about? All of us are standing in shocked silence. This isn't the first time Nina and her brother have argued, but not like this. Off! He clamps down the steps and Nina turns to go below decks. Neither of them noticed us. I'll be back. Go on. We'll take care of things here. Luis is a few steps from Halcyon down the dock toward Homeport, his back turned and his fists clenched. Confront Luis. Hey, Luis! Luis stops and turns to glare at me, and I hesitate just for a moment. But what am I doing? But that's no way to talk to your sister. You don't even know what you're on about, Venus Callida. I heard enough to know you're way out of line. Look, I'm glad you're back safe, but maybe stick to sailing. I'll stick to making sure Homeport stays in one piece. He turns to walk away without another word, and I feel my cheeks burning with anger. You're so excuse for a leader, you know that? No, I wouldn't have said that. I wouldn't have said that. That was not my place. He doesn't even dignify my outburst with a response. Continuing on his way, I look over to see Nina looking down at me from up on deck with concern. Venus Callida, dear, come here. Nina? I climb the stairs up to the deck, my anger giving way to concern. What was all that about? It's about this. She walks across the deck, pulling away tarps and coverings. I follow her, helping automatically, but struggling to process her words, and realizing that Halcyon is in much better shape than I thought. I hadn't really given the boat a good look since last spring. I realize the railings have been varnished, the deck is clean. I wanted this to be a surprise for your birthday. What? Only if you want her, of course. It's taken me a long time to come to terms with everything that's happened, but Halcyon should sail again. She shouldn't spend the rest of her days on a dock. You've been back almost 3 years now, and Gitana is a fine boat, but from where I'm standing it seems you've outgrown her. I look over the deck of the boat, and the boat that brought Homeport's founders to the bay decades ago, and it's suddenly much harder to speak. You really... She smiles up at me, resting her hand on my shoulder. This woman has done so much for me. I never dreamed of an opportunity like this. I would be so happy to see you sailing her. Oh, Nina. I hug her tightly, tears of gratitude welling up in my eyes. Thank you. But what was all that with Luis? Well, Luis, he was fine with the idea of you sailing Halcyon until the storm. Now that there's something important on the line, he's got cold feet. But maybe he isn't entirely wrong. Things have changed. I thought you'd go out and spend a season getting comfortable with this boat. The ship full of supplies, though. It wouldn't be right of me to put that kind of pressure on you. But Nina... What does he mean by get someone else killed? You'd never. Old ghosts glimmer in the depths of her eyes as she looks at me for a long moment. I suppose you're more than old enough. Come with me. Ooh, we're getting the scoop. Nina leads me through the companionway and we take seats at the table in the salon. We didn't want you to be afraid of the water or sailing. That's why no one ever talked about it. And I hope that was for the best. You were very young when it happened. Do you remember her? She points to a picture of herself, much younger, and another woman. She's familiar, but only as a photo on the wall. I know her name is Julia, but no, I don't remember. We were just 2 teenagers when we arrived in Homeport aboard this boat. It was a beautiful summer. The orchard was half the size. No lodge on the hill, no generator, just a couple of families with a vision. Oh, that's a piggyback ride. Neither of us had ever sailed before. On the way here, we fell in love with it and with each other, and all in a rush we grew up. Eventually, we took over the boat. We'd do runs from Juneau down to Ketchikan. Sometimes we'd have other crew along, but it was mostly just the two of us. It was captain. I was captain. She didn't like being in charge, but she was bold as hell. One time she went right out to the end of the bowsprit and to tighten a turnbuckle while we were underway. She takes a deep breath and looks down at her hands, but everything changed so fast. I wish I could say one of us had a bad feeling about it, but we didn't. We set out from the Claw, thought we'd make a long run up to Homeport. It was late in the season. Halcyon was the first boat to be attacked by orcas around this area. A whole pond of them just kept us from tacking and nearly ran us into the rocks. Huh? Yulia grabbed a rifle and went forward, and that's when one of them slammed right into the other side. There wasn't a damn thing I could do about it. She disappeared forever. I'm so sorry. After that day, I couldn't go out on the water in Halcyon anymore. It was so empty. But I didn't want to give her up either. She looks around at the interior of the boat wistfully. My heart aches. But Yulia, if she could see me now, she'd give me heck for keeping Halcyon on the dock as long as I have. Thank you for telling me what happened. Luis didn't have any business saying that. She was my responsibility as captain. You know that, but things couldn't have been any different. I think I finally accepted that. Oh. You two would have gotten along well. And my brother, he's afraid. And I can't say I blame him. Homeport is a lot to look after. This isn't just about Homeport, though. No, it isn't. But Homeport is his responsibility, so that's how he's going to see it. He's the kind of man who hunkers down when things get bad. Old wounds. I found a little peace of mind. It's been a long time since I talked to anyone about what happened. Thank you, honeybee. We go back up top, and I take another look around, imagining how it must have been when Nina and Yulia sailed it. Nina. I was talking with everyone about it on the way here, and I want to take those supplies all the way to Anchorage with Halcyon. I'd actually be able to. Yes, you sure would. You make me a very proud godparent. You know that? She looks up at the settlement spread out over the hillside, with all its sheet metal roofs and shingles and chimneys gleaming in the sunlight. But that isn't something you can just up and do. It affects the whole community, and some of them are going to feel like Luis. She's right. I think about the Palladium that's already in short supply. It's going to be a conversation for Luis and Dr. Alvarez, but one step at a time. Well, having a bigger boat isn't a bad start. No, not at all. She's nearly there. A few more days of work and she'll be ready to sail. Thank you, Nina. Of course, I'm sorry you had to see us getting into it like that. At least he didn't bring Anna with him this time. Both of them have been on my case lately. Nothing like some foul weather to stir things up. Well, you know where to find me, and Halcyon, if you don't give her a new name. I don't know if I could. Don't see why not. She's been Halcyon for over 80 years now. Give it some thought at least. I give Spike a few pets before returning to Gitana, feeling slightly lightheaded at the thought of sailing Halcyon. Could I really? I mean, of course I could, but oh wow. Chan and the others have already left and taken a good amount of our cargo with them. Lily is parked right at the top of the companionway looking at me expectantly. Okay, let me get my stuff. I grab a few things and let her lead me down the dock. She occasionally stops to investigate the mussels and the barnacles growing along the dock. Tempest and Rosalie's wave from the window of the Shantytown studio gallery as we walk past on our way to the peculiar house in the orchard which serves as Homeport's hospital. Still a little giddy at the thought of skippering the Halcyon, I knock on the door and Dr. Alvarez ushers me in a moment later. Doo doo doo. Oh. there you are. Gotta eat a chestnut. Gotta eat a chestnut. What is that? Cheer. This is Lily, the newest member of our crew. Looks like trouble to me. I pick her up and carry her just to be on the safe side. We were just discussing things. There's one person missing. Where's Connor? Upstairs resting. He may be coming down with something. Even with the Palladia? Well, he'd been through a lot when you found him, and his immune system has never seen most of the bugs we're carrying. We should be cautious. Hopefully none of you have caught anything from traveling with him. You probably won't. Y'all received a dose of Palladia, right? Yeah, I gave them their shots this morning. Good. Now, as things stand, we're going to be fine here in Homeport. Not to boast, but we have this facility. Phoebe and myself, a community, we have resources. Even less to go around, I can reduce the doses and ration. No one actually looks in the syringe. We may have a few more illnesses, but we'll be fine until the next ship comes through. We have a lot of healthy younger people here. I can't argue with his reasoning, but I can't say I like it. And everyone else? Those with fewer resources in the bigger communities where outbreaks of disease are most likely, they'll suffer greater hardships. But you two and Sunny were able to prevent a real tragedy. That was all them. Well, I'm sure that there will be a boat or a ship down from Juneau or Anchorage eventually. Word went out that the Aquila is stranded. They may not know about the lost Palladia yet, but they know they'll have to find a way to get their supplies. That could take weeks. We may be a routine stop for the NPA ships, but we're a small settlement, Mr. Martin. This isn't my decision to make anyway, but we don't have a whole lot here. 2 little boats, less than 100 people. And Halcyon. Venus Callida, I appreciate your optimism, but Halcyon hasn't sailed since you were a child. Well, Nina just told me I should sail her, and that she'd be ready to push off in a few days. What? Are you serious? That's amazing! If you're actually doing this, I want to go. Her enthusiasm only withers slightly under Dr. Alvarez's gaze. Maybe you could help transport things to Juneau, but still, that's a big undertaking. You need a crew. And support, I know. Yes, I like the idea of helping, obviously, but have you talked to Luis about this yet? No, and I don't think he's going to care for it. Well, he went down to the garage to discuss something with Sandra, but he should be back in a few hours. Hopefully his temper will have cooled by then. I guess I'll talk to him when he gets back. Thank you for everything. Of course, the case of Palladia will stay here for the time being. Swing by any time, any of you. I nod and look to RJ. We should probably get you set up at the lodge. Phoebe, could you stay? I'd like to discuss this with you. Yeah, of course, Dad. She winks at me as the rest of us head back outside. Look at the sheep. We head outside and I set Lily back down so she can investigate. Chan speaks up as soon as we're out of earshot. There's no way old Hernando's going to be able to tell Phoebe no. I hope not. But seriously, that's what Nina wanted to talk to you about? Yeah, I can hardly... He scoops me up in a big hug. That's amazing. You're going to be a wonderful skipper. Put me down. I'm assuming Halcyon's the boat on the dock? That's impressive. Yeah, she's older than Homeport. Older than Nina, even. He nods. I recognize her lines. There was a popular builder way back in the 50s, Remy Santiago. She'd adapt the build classic proven designs. A lot of those boats sailed all up and down this coast back then, moving refugees, establishing lines of communication. I don't think many of her sister ships are still around. There's one in Van Mint Harbor. You're just a wealth of information. I had some very enthusiastic colleagues during my apprenticeship. They'd be jealous to know I'll be sailing on a boat like that. Well, nothing's for sure. Oh, I have full confidence that you'll be sailing that boat out of here before too long, Venus Callida, and I'll do what I can to help that happen. Thank you, RJ. A goat eyes us warily as we approach the lodge. Me. Me. Ah. In a great flash of fur, she scampers up to my shoulder, startling me as much as I almost stumbled off the path. Oh! Oh, come on, Lily, it's fine. Bobo just looks evil in those eyes. Blah! Ah. Bobo gives us a final long look before wandering off the path to pick up some salmonberry shoots. Are you going to stay here or at home? I'd better go home. Rosa said Mom's been worried sick. But first, I have a date with the chai dispenser. Good call. Are you two hungry? They both nod in unison. All right, RJ, let's drop off our stuff. We'll be back in a few minutes. Sure thing. Ooh, a bearskin rug. I'll lead the way upstairs. This building seems a lot more sophisticated than the rest of the settlement. Yeah, they built this around the same time that they added the tidal generator. My parents did a lot of the work on it, actually. Oh, so your family is an important part of Homeport? Well, they're in Juneau now with my brother. Things got... I sigh involuntarily. There were raids on the coast when I was a kid, and my parents didn't feel like it was a safe place to raise a family anymore. And now that I think about it, I'm sure that they weren't too happy about my budding interest in sailing. Sounds like you're torn about the whole thing. Yeah, I've been thinking about them a lot lately, actually. I look down the hall. The doors are all open except for the room I've claimed. What about you? Are there people you miss back in Vanmont? Well, sure, my dad mostly. I wish he could see all of this, but he's a landlubber, and that's exactly how he likes it. But he loves the stories. Whenever I'm back, we sit down in the evenings and I tell him about what I've seen and where I've been. That's our little tradition. He pulls out his pocket watch and offers it to me. It's finally made and designed to be hand-wound, perfectly silent until I open it. Pocket watch, we're going to look at it. Yay! He gave me this when I set out on my first voyage. This and a little notebook to write it all down in. I like it. I hand the watch back to it, vanishes into his pocket. I missed him a lot at first, but now each voyage has so many opportunities to bring him back into new experiences. That makes a lot of sense. Let's see. You can take your pick of the open rooms. Which one has the best view? Or second best, maybe. Wouldn't want to steal it. Oh, they let me claim a room here. Let's see. You should take one of these ones. The heat comes up from the bake shop in the morning, and the views are good too. That does sound nice. He goes into a room just down the hall from mine, and I drop my things off and get Lily situated. Archie's going to be staying just down the hall for however long we're here, and that's convenient. I always think about decorating this place, but I've never really gotten around to it. Some other time, I guess. As I glance around, my eyes land on my hats. I forgot to bring one on the trip. Might as well take a look. Sunshine. Oh, it changes my hair? Meh. Wavy blonde. No. 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 That's kind of cute, but no. No. Ah. Beanie curls. Or Fanos Fabros. Well, I don't have enough diamonds. Whoops. I need to get out of here. No. So everything costs money and I have to be a baldy in a straw hat? No. No. I don't want it. Aw. Looks good. Nope. You'll be good, alright? Sure. Just don't burn the place down. RJ's waiting out in the hall. It's good to see you at ease. Am I that easy to read? Your body language is completely different here. Same confidence, just more relaxed. I feel the same way aboard Jatana when things aren't upside down. How's your room? Is it up to standard? I'll just have to make sure I don't get too comfortable. Day sailing and sleeping in a real bed at night is quite the luxury. That's the courier life for you. I head towards the stairs, then stop suddenly. But wait. I go back to my room and dig out a bag of flour for Anna's cake. We brought a few full sacks from the Aquilus since we knew supplies were getting low. This will do for now. All right, now we're ready. Is that a bartering chip? A favor. I love all the floors. It feels like it's been a month since I set foot in the bake shop as I push open the door and catch the sense of the warm rice and cumin. The place is empty aside from Chan, who has stacked out a table, and the usual crew. I walk over to the counter and plop the bag down, sending up a light cloud of flour. Poof! Hey, guess what I've got? Oh, Todd's gonna be so happy. Hey, cake bro, get your butt up here. Todd emerges from the back a moment later and his eyes light up. Oh, this is amazing. Thank you. I thought I was totally out of luck. Can't help smiling. This is one of those reasons I love being a courier. Glad to help. You really are a lifesaver, though. Not that Anna would complain, but it wouldn't be the same. How soon is her birthday? Tomorrow. Oh, wow. Just in the nick of time. Definitely. Thanks again. Todd turns to RJ, making an effort to stand a little straighter. Hey, welcome to Homeport. Any food preferences? Oh, thank you. I don't like pickles or beets if that's not too much trouble. Those are fighting words around here, but I've got your back. Wow, someone else with taste buds. Hey, we're just practical, Pramila. Meh. And everything you make is delicious, that too. That's better. Pramila and Todd chat with us a bit, not prying, but genuinely curious about RJ and how our trip went. Pramila sets down a tray of flautas next to a warm skillet of rice and beans. All right, enjoy. The door jingles a moment later. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, good, you're still here. Oh, we didn't know how long you'd be. Pull up a seat. Oh, that smells amazing. Pramila brings out another place setting for her. Missed you, Trouble. Oh, you know it. Thanks. There isn't much conversation, but we decimate the simple but delicious meal Pramila and Todd put together for us. Chan eventually speaks up. So, how'd things go with your dad? Oh, really well, actually. I mean, he won't go directly against Luis, but he said he'd support you sailing the Halcyon to deliver the supplies. Well, that's wonderful. I knew it. Mr. Navigator, how long of a trip is that anyway? Which one? From, let's say, here to Anchorage. Not much over 1,000 nautical miles, assuming you stop over in Juneau. That's a lot. We don't ever go more than 100 nautical miles from Homeport on our normal routes. That could take weeks, depending on the weather and where we stop along the way. Sounds like a real adventure. Hopefully not too much of one. Usually things are quite repetitive once you're out at sea. The storms can be something else, but I have experience dealing with those, and a boat like Halcyon can handle them as long as we don't take unnecessary risks. That's reassuring to hear. I want to believe I can do this, but I don't know if I've ever felt more uncertain in my life. 1,000 nautical miles just to get there. But Chan, Phoebe, and RJ would be with me. Maybe Sunny would come too. Connor's a bit of an unknown, but he certainly looks like he could raise a sail. He was looking to go to Anchorage anyway. 6 crews should be enough on a boat like that, even for offshore sailing. Hmm. Whenever Luis gets back, I want to talk to him about this whole situation. He's being ridiculous and he knows it. I wouldn't be so sure of that. From what I've seen, he's used to making decisions that raise some loud objections. Maybe my voice would carry some authority? Only if he's in a listening mood. What about blackmail? I mean, I don't have anything. Me either. Damn. I'm not feeling confident about this situation at all. I'm going down to the docks to get Chitana sorted and see if there's anything I can help with aboard Halcyon. I could introduce you to Nina too, RJ. Sure. Alright, I need to drop my stuff off, but I'll meet you down there. I should go help sort through everything that came in today, but I'll come down later if I can. Alright, good luck with that. RJ and I walk down to the docks, and he seems content to just take it all in. We unload a few cartloads of supplies until the shed on shore. They'll get delivered tomorrow by whoever is on duty. The tide is halfway out, and Nina greets us warmly. There's no shortage of tasks to attend to on board Halcyon, checking for chafe points, whipping lines, inspecting and mending sails. Chen joins us a short while later, and Phoebe finally joins us when the tide is nearly out. Spike suddenly looks towards shore and barks once. Luis is walking down the dock. I guess I won't have to track him down. Here we go. Luis tilts his head when he sees me up on deck. You have some more thoughts on my leadership, Venus Callida? Oh, this is not a great start. Actually, we want to talk to you about Halcyon. There's a hint of annoyance in his eyes. Spike looks entirely unimpressed. Nina, permission to come aboard? Well, you should ask Venus Callida. That's right, I feel a little surge of pride, but I probably shouldn't mess with Luis. Please come on up. He looks from me to Nina, then nods to RJ. Luis, this is RJ Martin, a master navigator formerly of the Aquila's crew. RJ, Luis Perez, head council person of Homeport. Pleased to meet you, sir. Likewise. They shake somewhat stiffly, and Luis looks back to me. So, what's this all about? I'd like to use Halcyon to take cargo from the Aquila and continue the route along to Anchorage. Look, Nina, I don't know what you said, but she only said that she'd intend for me to have Halcyon on my birthday. I decided I wanted to be involved with moving the supplies before I ever knew anything about Halcyon. The others nod in agreement. And this is supposed to be what, your crew? Well, no, I didn't expect you to like this idea, but maybe they can change your mind. Who should lead? Look to RJ. You may not know me well, Mr. Perez, but I've spent a decade at sea. Forgive me asking, but how old are you? 22 years old, sir, and in that time I've made numerous crossings of the North Pacific, 5 as navigator. I see. My interest lies in seeing this cargo through to its destination. I'm fortunate that I wasn't killed when the mast came down aboard the Aquila. One of my crewmates was not so lucky. I'm sorry for your loss. Thank you, Mr. Perez. Danger like the willy-wah that led to the dismasting are an unfortunate reality of sailing. No ship is unsinkable. No crew can be prepared for every possible scenario. However, I would never set foot aboard a vessel with a skipper who seemed unfit for the position. My life depends, to some degree, on my ability to gauge the competence and character of a crew. The Tacoma, which I refused a position aboard, never reached Sokcho. Venus Callida has made a good impression on me in the short time we've been sailing together. My complaints are few, and I have admittedly high standards. I believe she would be a good choice to lead such an effort. All right, then. Oh, wow, no pressure. My cheeks are burning, but I guess this is necessary. Maybe someone else could say a little more. To Chand. Of course, I think you can handle this. I sail with you for a reason. Lee scratches his chin, considering. This is an important decision. I understand that you really care and you want to make a difference. I respect that. I really do. It's a good attitude. But this isn't just about you. This is about our entire community and how we're going to respond to this crisis. But it's urgent, I know. Give me until morning. I'll come down to the lodge and talk to you. I was really hoping for a decision. Well, for approval, really. Luis looks off toward the south, and I follow his gaze. Chitana's sister ship, the Mariposa, is working her way toward the dock. She's far away, but I recognize Nicola by the way he moves, and he prepares to drop the sails. But there's also someone sitting back in the cockpit, someone I'd recognize anywhere. I can't believe it. Oh, we're loving it, and we're going to complete the episode. We're not going to find out who this is until the next time I peekaboo you and get back online to read more of this story. I'm really loving it. I'm so glad I found this on Steam. I hope you guys are enjoying how I'm reading this thing. I know I have to work on accents and stuff. I'm so sorry about that. Romance Club. All right. We are at episode 8 out of 11. 8 out of 11. I so much want more. I want to thank everyone for coming in to listen to me read this story, Hell and High Water. I'm loving it, and I can't wait to see this story through to the end, and I can't wait to delve into other books too. This has brought back my love of reading. It's so much fun. All right, everyone. Have a great night. This is Venus Callida. Sweet dreams. I hope all your wishes come true, and I will see you later on tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, for a live edition at Project Wonder Inspired 3-part